Hello, how are you today? This is Joanne Hewins from lovetocreate.typepad.com, and I'm just waiting to see if maybe I'm going to come up at the right place. Oh, there I am. Okay, good to see all of you. I'm going to make this a little larger so I can see comments. And I hope your day is going well. I've had a busy one. I've been cutting, getting ready for a class. Hi, Tina. How are you? So good to see you today. Or I wish we could see each other, or that I could see you. Hi, Faith. How are you today? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to be using the Pansy Patch bundle. This consists of the stamp set and the pansy dies. Now you can see that there are a lot of stamps in here and a lot of dies. And I know when I first looked at this, it was a little bit overwhelming to me to know what to do with what. And I still haven't done a lot with the stamping of the flowers. Today we're going to be working mainly with the dies. I'm also going to be using the Scallop Contours dies. I can't seem to stop, and we're going to be using this one right here. It seems like I'm using these on every card I make now. So let's get started. And the card that we're going to make today is this one. Now, hey Sue, how are you? Sue, you made me remember something. I wanted to tell you all that if you try to order the Pansy Patch suite, it is not available right now, but the part of that suite that you can't get is the bumblebees. Now, I don't have the bumblebees. Hi, Fran. So I didn't realize that, but if you want just the bundle, you can get that. And if you want the paper, you can get that now. You just can't get the bumblebees right now. So I found that I could live without the bumblebees. So if you are thinking about getting this, it is something that you can order now, or it was as I looked yesterday, last night, and it was. So usually, or I was trying to start doing my Wednesday blog post after my lives. Hi, Beth. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to wait until tomorrow morning to put this on. And the reason for that is I actually have 2 posts for tomorrow, and I just thought one Wednesday night and 2 on Thursday it's just too close together for anybody to actually look at my post. So this is the card that I'm going to have that goes live tomorrow morning at 3:05 Eastern Time, and it's part of the Create with Connie and Mary Thursday challenge. And we had a sketch challenge to do, and so I meant to bring in the paper that I printed out that had that sketch, but I didn't get it. My mind flitted to something else, so I don't have the sketch. But I'll talk to you about it as we go. So I'm just going to add this video to my post tomorrow with the Create with Connie and Mary Thursday challenge. So let me get out the parts for this, and there are a lot. And I've gone ahead and cut out all of these little pieces because you don't want to wait for me forever to get all that done. So let me pull all of this out, and you can see it's a bunch. So if my advice to you is, if you want all the little frills and everything that goes with this, it's going to take you a little bit of time to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to slide all of that over here, and I'm going to get one of these doilies. Now this is the square vellum doilies, And I must admit to you that I have a hard time finding things to do with these. So I really have copied this, and I should have brought in my catalog, but I don't have it in here with me. If you go to the page that has the pansies, and right now I don't know what page that is either, you are going to see down at the bottom of the page that has all of the samples a card that looks like this, except it's turned with this stuff on the left instead of the right. And it just happened, I looked at that and I saw that it looked like the sketch that we were supposed to do, except backwards. And so I thought, well, I'm going to case the catalog, but instead of all of these buds, it did have the flowers on it. So if this looks familiar, and if you've really studied your catalog, you're thinking, she copied that. And she did. So I'm going to take my doily, and I'm going to take the soft succulent ink, and I'm going to get a blending brush, and I've got one for my greens, and I've been using the darker green, but I tried to get some of that off a little bit earlier today. So I'm just going to go on here and get some of my soft succulent ink and maybe get a little bit of that off, and then I'm just going to lay this here and there on my card front and just move it from place to place and just put a little bit, it's not supposed to bunch up like that, but just put a little bit of texture onto this card. So I'm not even doing the whole thing, but just here and there. I think I'll do a little bit in this corner and maybe a little bit up there in this corner. And some's a little darker than others, but that just doesn't matter. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong, Faith, with copying. That's why a lot of us like to show you stuff. We hope that you'll like what we're doing and that you might want to copy it. And usually if I copy, there's a little something that I change on there. So I'm going to add, this is not the same one that I colored. I could have added that, but I didn't think it would show up very well. I'll use that for another project. And I'm going to add this, and I'm just going to add it with some glue dots over in here. And I put them in the middle there because I know that I'm going to put my little strips of paper across there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the little strips of paper. I'm going to bring in the Evening Evergreen, and I'm going to stamp on. This is just one of those scraps you get when you cut insides for your cards, so it's a little 1/2 inch piece. And I'm just going to stamp that. That's a little low. I didn't stand up to stamp. I'll do it again and we'll pick the best. I think that's the best right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add this stripe. And this is from the paper, the Pansy Petals, I believe it's called, paper. And I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Let me finish this card and then I'll show you that. So I'm just going to take this and add it across here with my seal. And then I'm going to add some of this Fresh Freesia check. Just cut that down a little bit. This is also a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to add some dimensionals there. A couple of 1/2 inch ones here, or half dimensionals. I'm going to cut these up. I know I could probably use my mini dimensionals. I usually just end up cutting these in half. Hey, Jane. Thank you, Jane. I just had this this little vision about the buds, the flower buds. I just thought that that would be so pretty because I just know the anticipation when you've got all those buds and you're thinking, oh, you're going to have flowers soon, and you can't wait for them to open. And so that's what I was thinking when I decided to try just the flower buds. I hadn't seen anybody do that. I'm sure someone has. There are not many really original ideas. Okay, so there are the strips. And I like a card like this. It can gives you a use for some of your little scraps that you have, because you know those I end up with a lot of those anyway. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to add, this is where that contours, scallop contours piece came in, this third largest one, and I cut that out of basic white. And I'm just going to take my scissors. I don't have room for the whole thing. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off about five scallops up. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because my leaves are going to cover that up. So I'm going to add that with dimensionals as well. Oops. And then some of this is going to be over those strips. Will that work? Yeah, I think that'll work. So let me get these off quickly. I was looking for my Take Your Pick tool. There it is. I'll have to use that next time. So I'm going to add this to the card. And now we're ready to make all of our flowers and stuff. Now I kept this piece that I used to cut out all of the leaves because I wanted to show you that on the back of the cardstock I added some of the adhesive sheets. I've been using these like crazy lately. That comes in a pack of 12 sheets, and they are 6 by 12. So that's a lot of adhesive sheets in there. But I think I'm going to have to put that on my list to reorder with my next pre-order. But this just makes the gluing so much easier for your pieces. Now I put it just on these, and I didn't put it on the rest of this. So let's make the flower buds. So I probably should have gone ahead and made up a couple of them. But let me pull out these little pieces. They're not hard to get together. Now I've used for the stem, I've used the what is that, evening evergreen, and then for the this part I've used the new fresh freesia, and then this darker part is blackberry bliss. So I'm going to just use some glue to add these together. You might be wondering why I'm doing 4 of them when I only have 3 on the card, and that's because I have one on the inside. So I'm just going to add, oops, just a small little dot right in there. That might be too much. And I'm going to lay down this piece on each one. You know, when you get your nails done and they're real thick, it's hard to pick stuff up. And right before this went live, I thought, gosh, you should have put some lotion on your hands. But what you see is what you get. All right, so now I'm going to add a little dot of glue there, and I'm just going to press that down. So while it might be a little time, take a little time to cut all these pieces, it's not that hard to put them together. But I do have a little drop of glue sticking out on each one. I'm going to try to just leave it alone and not smear it right now. Okay, so there I've got these. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere them to the card. And then I'll come back with the leaves. So I'm going to put, where did my, I'm so bad to pick up dimensionals and just, if I had one spot, and I think I have one spot to keep them, but then I don't do that. But I lay them all over the place and then I can't find them. So this one is going to, I put a dimensional back there and I'm just going to kind of lay it right in there. I'll push down a little harder. And I'm not so worried about the stems yet on this. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this next one as well. The flower buds are cute. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to put this one right in here. And then this one, I think I might just put some glue dots on that if I can find them. Sometimes I get a little bit crazy with the glue. So I'm going to put this one right down in there. And this one will go inside. All right, so now we're going to work with the leaves. Now I wanted to show you how to put these together, but I think, even though I have them all cut out, I'm not sure I'm going to use them that way right now. There's my tool. Take your pick tool. So I'm going to turn this over and just peel off the this, and then we'll do our best to kind of place that on there the right way. So you see how easy that is? It just turns this top part into a sticker and makes it just a lot easier to deal with. Okay. Sometimes I am a little bit challenged in removing the backing. Oops, now I didn't get that one quite right. Oh, that's pretty close. Okay, so you can see that this is how this would look on there. What do you think about if we do some that have the detail and maybe some that don't? This is actually pretty bulky on here. So let me take maybe one of these smaller ones and I think I'll add it kind of right in there. I'm just really not worrying about those stems. I feel like I'm going to cover those up. So I'm going to add that there. And I think I'm going to take this one and add it maybe over in here. And you can see that's kind of got those stems stationary now. I know if I try to put glue on those little stems, I'm going to end up with a mess. Okay, so I'm going to put a big one right here in the middle, and I think I'll just stick with the glue dots here. So I'm going to put that one kind of down like this, and then I think I'll add the backing to another one. I'm going to put a dimensional on this one. So it's not going to be the thinnest of cards for mailing either when you start getting a couple of layers of dimensionals. So I'm going to put one out this way, and then I think I'll just get a plain leaf and add it on dimensionals as well. And yeah, you can use your, take your pick tool to help you get those stickers off or backings off a little bit easier as well. All right, okay, so there we go with the front of that. I'm moving my paper around, but so there you go. That one's actually really pretty easy. So you may also notice that this card opens with the paper cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then scored and folded at 5 1/2. And then I did this one the other way. Either way, they're a half a sheet of cardstock. So this one is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to open this so we can see the inside. And I'm going to stamp this saying, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. We all need a little extra happiness wish, don't we? And I have just realized I did not put a piece of paper in there for that. Let's see if this one will work. Yeah. Yay! Okay, so I put that over there. And then we'll just add another, oh, sometimes these are really hard to open and shut. So we're going to take our other flower. I think I'm going to still keep with the glue dots. And I'm just going to put it here. And then we'll fix a couple of our leaves. Oh, you like the couple of dark leaves, Faith? I think I like that too, and it's just not quite as bulky that way. Let me find a big solid. I think I'll put 2 of the solid leaves on the inside and just one of these that has the detail. Okay, so I'm going to put one, oops. Okay, one there. I'm going to put a small one coming out down this way, and then we'll put this one with the detail over here. And then we'll just add that to the inside of the card. Okay, so this will be the card that I have on my blog post tomorrow. And this video hopefully will be there with it. Okay, I'm going to push these up out of the way. You know I'll be using those at some time. So there's our 2 cards here. And I wanted to show you the paper. This is the Pansy Petals paper, and I've got little bits and pieces here because I've been using it. So we have, this is the Pale Papaya check, with this print on the back. Here we have, oh, that's a pretty print, with these stripes. This is part of what I was using on the other card. Here we have the Fresh Freesia check. I just love the gingham check with this on the back. Then this one is just full of pansies. And it has this beautiful bumblebee. Isn't that pretty together? And then you have this sheet with the leaves. And on the back of that is the soft succulent gingham. And then you have this part with the flowers. And on the back of that is a, gosh, I think that's Calypso Coral and Pale Papaya. Aren't those pretty together? Well, you're probably looking at how I cut that paper and thinking that's pretty crazy. But one of the reasons I wanted to bring the paper in and show it to you is because the dies will cut out these flowers on the paper and these leaves on the paper. So let me bring in, well, since the leaves are on the top, I'll just show you that this will cut out, I'll just pick one up here in the middle, this shape of the leaf, and then this one will cut out this shape. And you can cut out every leaf on this paper if you want. And just do your flowers that way. So that's pretty neat. I love that idea. And then with the flowers, it also cuts those out. So let me bring in these. So this die is going to cut the big flowers. And this one will cut the smaller flowers. So I just think that's wonderful. I like that Stampin' Up! Does that, and it just makes things easy. Now, I also want to tell you that don't just cut this inside stuff out and then you're thinking, gosh, all these little half flowers, I could have used those. You can still use them, just kind of tuck them in so all that you see is the little part that you have. So I would cut it all out. Okay, let me put those back, and that brings me to the next card that we're going to make. And for this one, I have cut out all of the flowers that we're going to use. So you can see that I've cut out a bunch of stuff. And we're going to use the very same sketch to do this one. We're still going to use pansies, but we're just going to do a little with these cutouts. So I'm going to bring back the piece that I had used to color with, and I have a sponge stuck to my bone folder. So let me do that, and I'm going to bring in the soft succulent. Now you might notice that I've got, you put the stickers on here and on the end. Maybe you're noticing that I have them other places as well. That's just so we know very well what color that is. No, I can't read those languages, but I can see the color, and that's why I use them that way. Okay, so I'm just going to color in again, just the same as we did. And I probably should have done some of that ahead of time since you've already seen this. Now you can see what it looks like if you move your stencil around in the middle of coloring. Okay, and I don't really need to do anything in the center because it's going to be covered. So there you go. All right, so I'll go ahead and add another one of the square vellum doilies. I was glad to see those carried over because I just never have given them justice. Never have really found much to do with them. And in fact, I gave some to my team, and I'm thinking if I can't find anything to do with it, what are they going to do? So hopefully we can use our doilies. Okay, so I'm just going to do the very same thing quickly. I'll just hopefully get this done, the part that you've already seen. I put that right over those glue dots. Okay, I'll add my dimensionals here. And hopefully now I haven't made this card ahead of time, so hopefully it will come together as I think that it will. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my saying again. And we'll add that with glue dots. And I'm thinking that I can cut some of that off. Oops, I don't think we want it upside down, do we? Okay, here is the scalloped, and I'm just going to cut across. I'm going to keep these parts. I'm sure I can use those for something else. And we'll add this again, and that'll get us to the point where we're ready to look at adding the flowers and the leaves. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So what I'm going to do is just add some of the flowers. I only cut out kind of the polished pink and the freesia and with the blackberry bliss. And yeah, I like that evening evergreen for everything. Hi, Ona. Hi, Ona. How are you? Gosh. I've actually got some people watching today. So I'm going to add this one, I think, just with the glue dots. And like I told you, I haven't played with this, putting these together yet, so I'm just going to see how it goes. I think I'm going to add one of the pink ones, kind of over in here. And I guess I want to stay on the card front instead of going off. I'm going to take this itty bitty piece that I cut out that was at the bottom of the page, and I don't want to waste that, so I'm just going to stick it right over there. I think I'm going to get a leaf and maybe add a leaf coming out there. And then we'll add some leaves. I think I'm going to put a glue dot on that one, and I'll add in a half of a dimensional down here at the bottom. And that'll be because part of this is going to be on my paper, and part's going to go over the paper. So I want them on the same level. And then we'll do the same. I'm going to put a glue dot way up toward the top of that one. And we'll put another dimensional down here. And we'll add that maybe that way. Okay, what are you thinking? Should I stop there? Should I keep going? You know, I have a hard time stopping. you know what, I'm going to add it. I'm going to add a dimensional here. Hi, Carol, how are you? Oops, down here, and then I'll add the glue dot. Nope, I've got it backwards. Dimensional at the top, glue dot down near the bottom. And we'll just put that right there. And maybe another leaf. Probably need to put dimensionals on here. Thank you all for watching. It just does my heart good to think that somebody would want to tune in and see what's going on. I just appreciate it. Okay, so I'll do a little leaf that way, and maybe I've done enough. Okay, it's looking a little lopsided, isn't it? So, probably should not have put that other part. Well, I'm just going to go crazy and put this down here. With a leaf to balance it out a little bit. No, maybe I want it on top. And I think I'll just do a leaf with glue dots. What do you think about that? Is that too much? Okay, and we'll do a little flower on the inside. Maybe I'll bring in my glue for that. And we'll just add that on the inside with a couple of leaves. Hopefully I can stick that up under there a little bit. Okay. Sorry, I guess I got part of that out of the focus. And maybe I'll just leave that at that. The outside is pretty busy. Oh, thank you, Iona. Okay, I am going to stamp that saying in here again. I like that. Just a little extra happiness. We might need a lot of extra happiness. And I'll just glue this one in. I think the other one I used the seal. Either is fine. I've turned into more of a glue person. And usually I try to do corner to corner and help myself get that. I don't know what that is. There. So this is the pretty much the same sketch as the first card, but I used the paper that you can cut out, and that just makes it so simple and easy. So here is here's the card I had to start with, the one that's going to be on the blog post tomorrow. This is the one we made, and this is the one that we did with the same sketch. And again, let me tell you, go to the catalog, even though I didn't have it here to show you. Go to the catalog, find the Pansy Patch page, and you'll see this sample just turned around and with whole flowers instead of buds. But you're also going to see a lot of other samples. Our catalog is just one of the best resources that you can have. Thanks, Beth. I'm glad you like them. And Iona, I love the paper. I love the colors in the paper, and I love the stamp set. So my next big thing that I need to do with this is to get all of these stamps out and start using them, because I've worked with the dies, the Pansy dies. I've kind of put off a little bit working with this actual stamps, and I've seen some really pretty things. Fran, thank you for joining me. Beth, Iona, Tina, Faith, I appreciate it so very, very much. If you need any supplies, you can go to lovetocreate.typepad.com and you can get to my store from there. I appreciate it so very much. And I'm going to bring in one more thing before I leave you, is I have a class that you can find out about on my blog. It is a Quiet Meadow class. This class is free with a purchase of $50, or you can purchase it for $25 plus I think my shipping is just $1.40. I think on my blog post I said $2.50, but it didn't turn out to be that much. If you are interested, the details are on my blog, and it does come with a video for each card and a PDF. So there you go. Thanks so much. Appreciate your time. Love you all. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.